I matched with a guy and things started off good. I asked him what made him swipe right and he said I was beautiful and seemed honest. After we exchanged a few messages though, I asked if he wanted to meet up but didn't really drink, so asked if we could do coffee. He said that was fine and was all down for it. I added that there's no pressure if we meet and didn't vibe or clicked and he didn't want to hang out again, since meeting IRL doesn't always work out or chemistry isn't there, so there's no hard feelings. He said, I'm just me but okay, good deal. Anyway, I said I was available this Saturday and possibly Sunday but would be on call for work. No response, and when I came back to check a few hours later, he unmatched me.
I initiated a conversation with
What did
one
I
of
do
my
wrong?
matches by asking about her favorite comedian and breakfast food. She responded asking if my line was one of the boilerplate questions. I said that my questions were genuine and not stock questions from the app. The next day she responds saying she doesn't really do comedies and her favorite breakfast food was oatmeal. Now I'm one to read profiles and interests before matching, so I double-checked her profile and reassured myself for my opening line by seeing that she had selected comedy as an interest. So I responded by saying I only asked about comedians because of it being one of her interests, but I also said that oatmeal is underrated and shared my favorite breakfast food. The reply I got said that she went with the default interests chosen by Tinder and that she was more of a foodie. As a matter of principle, everyone starts with one strike. The lack of effort in the profile combined with calling yourself a foodie and saying your favorite breakfast is oatmeal were strikes 2 and 3. It was bad enough having to start a conversation with both of us on the defensive. I unmatched because it just wasn't worth pursuing more dead-end
for a couple of
responses.
days with a girl on Hinge. I asked her to do a video call through Hinge and we made plans for the next day, Tuesday, and to go on a date Saturday. Tuesday afternoon comes and she asks me to reschedule the video call cause she started her period and wasn't feeling well. She asks if I can do Thursday and I tell her yes, but it would have to be right at 4 p.m. since I had to be somewhere else later that evening. She says that would work for her. Thursday comes and I call her at 4 and she doesn't respond. She ends up calling me an hour later. I rejected the call and told her I was now busy and couldn't talk. I tell her I'll call her the next day at the same time. She says she'll be free then. So I call her then, and again no response. By this point I'm pretty annoyed. But whatever, I continue with my day, and a couple hours later I end up messaging her telling her I don't appreciate getting stood up for 3 times in a row. She responded a little bit later, very apologetic, and asks me to call her on the phone instead of Hinge. By this point, I don't really feel like putting any more effort on her, so I don't reply and instead unmatched her. And within the hour, she somehow found my email and Instagram and has been flooding me with messages since. I don't get it. Did I insult her ego
and
by
I get a
unmatching
decent
her?
amount of matches, but what I'm struggling with is at least half of the guys I match with and send the first message to never respond. What gives? My best guess is they are swiping right on everybody, which is normal according to Reddit lol, and then when they get the match message they check me out more in depth, and aren't as interested. But then why not say something, or at least unmatch? And I promise my messages aren't
banter
boring
going
at
on.
all.
Then we had more of a general conversation. Then I think I bored the shit out of her and took too long to respond. So I asked her out as a last-ditch effort in the cringiest way possible, and no response. I now want to crawl into a hole and die. Not even because I fumbled. I mean, she was cute and it's a little disappointing, but I'm just so embarrassed because she was totally into me and I fucked it up by both overthinking and underthinking. Any effort to seem normal has been lost.